Hey everybody, it's me, Melody. Welcome to my stream. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share on every platform. So, today's topic is, do Black women dislike how they look naturally? Now, this stream isn't meant to bash anyone or hurt anyone's feelings. I'm just giving my honest opinion on this because I see way too many Black women changing the color of their skin, whether they're bleaching, whether they're wearing light makeup or filters on their photos. I see way too much of it going on, especially on IG and Facebook with the celebrities. It's out of control. Now, I'm also seeing them get BBLs and facelifts, face surgeries. A big trend I'm seeing now are the duck lips, the big old duck lips. I'm seeing a lot of these women getting these big old duck lip fillers, and usually those are hits or miss. Like, a lot of them I see do look good, but then again, some of them are OD. And that's interesting to me because Black women are supposed to be the big lip queens. Like, we're supposed to naturally have big lips and big booties and thick thighs and small waists. That was us. Like Game Changer always talk about in the 90s, that was natural. White women wanted to look like us. Everybody wanted to look like Black women or at least have Black features. The high cheekbones. Everybody wanted that look. Excuse me. Even my mom and my dad was telling me back in the 70s and the 60s, white women wanted to have, well, white people in general wanted to have the afro. So they would manipulate their hair to get, they would get perms so their hair can get bigger. I mean, at some point, I believe Black people were the standard of beauty. But now people want to believe that it's like Europeans that's the standard of beauty. I still don't believe that. I love being Black. I like my skin complexion. I like my hair texture. So I guess it depends on who you are. But what else? Oh yeah, and of course we see a lot of Black women wearing Eurocentric wigs and these big old weaves that look outlandish, okay? They're not even trying to make it look realistic. And it's nothing wrong with getting extensions, but make sure they match your hair texture. Or even if you straighten your hair out, get the extensions that they call them yaki extensions. I know because I wear them. I don't have pin straight hair, so when I do get my clip-ins, I make sure I get the yaki, the texture that matches my texture. Or like I have naturally curly hair, so the curly extensions that I get are going to be the exact same curl pattern as mine. I'm not going to wear something that's just going to make me look flat out white. You know what I mean? I just think that's ridiculous. So to me, that's another sign of self-hate. Hi to the chat. Hi, Jazzy. Salute to you. Kevin, hey. Yes, you were first. But exactly, Jazzy, curvy. Other women wanted to be curvy like Black women used to be before we started gaining all this weight. But I'm going to get into that a little later because that's another big part of why Black women are insecure because they don't take care of themselves as far as the diet and things like that. So, what made me make this stream is when I saw a picture of K Michelle of what she looked like now, she doesn't look how I remember her looking when she first started. And I was a huge K Michelle fan. Like I loved K Michelle. I couldn't believe my eyes. Like she don't even look like a Black woman anymore. To me, she looked like she's trying to be like Latina to me. If you guys saw my thumbnail and you compare the two, her dark skin picture with the light skin picture, it looks like two different nationalities. And this is what it's gotten to. People don't even want to be Black anymore. People don't even want to claim Black. And I noticed like even foreigners, like Dominicans, for instance, I'm going to use Dominicans because I have them in my family because, I have it in my blood. But Dominicans are Black. We all know that. they don't even want to claim black anymore because of the reputation that comes along with being black. I've heard Haitians, Africans, Jamaicans, a lot of them don't even want to claim being black. So it's a lot of self hate out there, especially amongst American women, American black women. But the whole trying to change your whole race to appear exotic because they know they're undesired by everyone. They know they're not desired. But what they fail to realize is they're already beautiful. And it's not about their looks. Well, for some, because we know a lot of women are overweight. But for a lot of them, it's not about the looks why they're undesired. It's the attitude. It's their attitude. It's the weight. It's the masculine energy. They're not submissive in relationships or to their man. They never smile. They walk around like like somebody owe them something. Or did I say it right? Yeah, like somebody owe them something. Yeah, there we go. A lot of them are very confrontational. They walk around with a chip on their shoulders, ready to start a fight, especially here in Jersey. Jersey and New York, we have a lot of confrontational people. A lot of them don't keep their image up. Like they'll walk around with their hair messy, or they'll have like bad hygiene. And I can go on and on and on and on. They're very manipulative. It's so much about black women today. It almost had me embarrassed to be black. Like sometimes I don't even want to like, well, physically you can look at me and you can tell I'm a black woman, but it's embarrassing, and I understand why we are undesired. I understand. I can't even be mad at that. And I don't know if you guys saw the fresh and fit thing that everybody's making a big deal about, where they were saying, they were clips saying that they don't want no Shaniquas or Keishas or whatever they said. That's understandable. And what I get from that, I don't think they find black women unattractive. I think they find Shaniquas and, the ones that's ghetto unattractive. And unfortunately, a lot of them are of a darker hue. A lot of them are very dark. So when you see a dark skinned woman, you automatically want to run the other way because of their actions. Because 80% of the dark skinned women act like Shaniqua, or maybe their name is Shaniqua. I don't know, but it's really, really understandable why people run the other way. But I have GC here in the back, and he's gonna come up. Hi, Game Changer.
Hey, how you doing, Melody?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
So, what is your take on this whole thing?
Well, first I want to say the Dominican thing. Now it was my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not, Dominican as far as I know, in part or in
You
full.
could
But
be.
yeah, that's what I say as far as I know. But I thought that when they say they're not black, that they meant that they're not Haitian because they call Haitians black and they call themselves Dominican.
Well, that's a big part of it, but unfortunately, in Haiti, a lot of the black women and men act similar to the black women and men here.
Oh, I see. So it's
Yeah,
just an association from both.
exactly. It's an association. Nobody wants to be black because of the way we act. Let's face it.
Hmm.
And us as black people, we can say this. Like, nobody's going to cancel us for saying it because we're black. We're just being honest. You know
Wow.
what I mean?
No, I understand. I mean, it's sad but true. It's sad but true. Now, I don't know who the person you have on the thumbnail is. I'm assuming that she does music, right?
Yeah, that's K Michelle. You don't know who K Michelle is?
No, I don't listen to modern music.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's been on for a while, since like the 90s. No, I'm sorry, the early 2000s.
Yeah, I haven't listened to modern music in a while. I'm not familiar with her, but I mean, yeah, she. If I would have seen her for the first time yesterday without, your split view, I would just assume that she was a light skinned woman. So it does
No,
seem as if she's trying to somewhat escape the negative reputation that Black American women have created for themselves. And she's not
exactly.
the only one. I mean, when people look at Black American women, their ethnic reputation comes to mind. All of the negative interactions that they had with similar looking women are going
Hmm.
to come to a person's head. So you can't escape that. The only thing you can do is change it. Now,
Right.
yeah, I
But
can imagine that a large part, like her looks, is her currency, and the way other women are acting is affecting her bag, so she's looking for a way around it. I understand that.
exactly. But did you see her before the dark skin version of her? She is gorgeous.
Um, Let me look at it again. Hold on one moment.
Yeah, look at the thumbnail again. The dark skin version of her was really pretty, and she's not even that dark. She was like a brown skin.
Hmm.
I think she was beautiful. So why would you change yourself? Why would you look a whole different race? Like Lil Kim did the same thing. Little Kim went from a beautiful chocolate woman to an Asian looking woman.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that. That was kind of, yeah. I mean, they all want to escape the negative stereotype that exists. Now, in Little Kim's case, I don't know if this is true for Kim Michelle. She was part of that stereotype. She was part of that whole sapphire behavior that exists. So
Exactly.
yeah, she's like, okay, I know that I created this negative stereotype, but I want to rebrand myself and leave the stereotype out there for others who look like I once looked to. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but it seems like they're going from ethnic group to ethnic group, changing themselves until they ruin one stereotype and then the next and then the next and then the next.
Exactly. Somebody said Michael Jackson changed from black to alien.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
he did look like Diana Ross's daughter for a while.
Yeah, and the sad part is Michael Jackson was so handsome. Like when I used to watch the Thriller video, I
Mm.
thought he was like so handsome, chocolate, black features. I thought he was like one of the best looking guys that I've seen, you know, looking at old school people. But
Hmm.
he changed himself. And then you had Nene Leakes, she bleached herself. She's light skinned now.
Yeah,
And you have Megan Good, your girl. She was light skinned, but it looked like her complexion is coming back.
yeah, she's back orange again, and so is her career coming back. Now she got that Harlem thing going on. Nobody wants to see, a bleached chick looking all weird and crap.
Exactly. Oh, I didn't know that. Sammy Sosa, he looks white.
Yeah, he's a baseball player, I think, and yeah, not only that, not only does he look that way, he looks weird. Like he looks
Wow,
like a mannequin.
unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know what it is with people why they don't want to be black. Well, why they don't want to look black.
Well, I think Sammy Sosa is Dominican too.
Yeah, but he's black. He's
So
still
somebody
black
said
at the end of the
Rihanna.
day.
I'm not sure if Rihanna did it or if she's just one of those like seasonally light skinned people. That I'm not sure.
Yeah, she's tricky. I think she's like me, how I got a caramel complexion. Like in the wintertime, I'm light skinned, and in the summertime, I'm brown skin.
Hmm.
Maybe she has like that type of skin, like I do.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know.
She may or may not bleach. I think that she's just one of those chameleons that fluctuate their look.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Like, it's modern times. Anything goes right now.
Right. Well, for those who don't know, can you tell them about when you went to the Philippines and everything had skin whitening cream in it?
Oh crap! I was cracking up. I was cracking up. Yeah, pretty much everything that touch your face, or your skin, whether it's soap, whether it's lotion, just pretty much anything you could think of that, suntan lotion, which is odd, like
Hmm.
anything you can think of that touches a woman's skin had whitening in it. I took a picture.
Right.
It was hilarious. And I bought something from 7-Eleven. By the way, 7-Eleven is real big out there. I
Ooh.
I think I was buying some like aftershave, something for like razor bumps,
Yeah.
but I misread it and I bought the wrong thing. I bought like some lotion with whitening in it. And the chick
Mhm.
I was with, that was showing me around and stuff, was half black and
Mhm.
um half black and Filipino, my favorite mix. And she and I was just like, oh, this was a man's lotion with whitening in it. So I just threw it outside, right?
Mhm.
And she went out and picked it up, and because apparently she said she could use it. So I was like, oh, okay, want to use man's lotion, that's fine. But what she said tripped me out. She said, I was like, you want to use that whitening crap? And she said, don't worry, it doesn't even work.
It works. Did her skin complexion look a little grayish?
Nah, she looked like a I'll show you her picture in the back. But no, she
Okay.
looks like a regular black woman.
Wow. Yeah, well, why do you think she wanted to use the shaving cream to
No, it
make
wasn't
herself
shaving cream.
lighter?
I think it was like a man's lotion. Because I wanted to buy aftershave lotion, and then when I realized that it wasn't aftershave lotion, that it was that that it was regular lotion with whitening in it, I just threw it out.
Yeah.
So she could use regular lotion, even though it's made for a man. I don't think it's really much difference, but she just
Yeah.
wanted to use that.
Well, I know here, like in the African stores, when you get the soap and everything, they actually have a soap called skin whitening soap. And I bought it by mistake. And it was so cringe because I used it and then I looked at the wrapper after I used it and I was like, oh my God, is this bleaching me or what is this? And my mom was like, no, I don't think it bleaches. I think it just makes your complexion smoother.
Hmm.
But I still threw it out because I don't like the fact that it said skin whitening soap, even if it wasn't skin whitener. But it amazes me, especially in Asian cultures. I heard that the Asians really want to bleach themselves.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting because it's not about race with them. It's really more of a social class thing. Like the chick that I was that showed me around, she wasn't considered ugly because she was darker than the Asian chicks, than the full blown Asian chicks. She was just the color that she was supposed to be. However, the if you are full Asian, it's a bad thing to be dark. But if you're just a half black person, there's nothing wrong with being dark. It's kind of weird, but the way they see it, or the way it was explained to me, was that they don't want to look like a field laborer. They don't want to look like they've been working in the sun all day.
Right. So I get it. So if they're not black, they don't want to appear black or have a darker complexion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was something else you told me. What was the story you told me about? I think she was 100% Filipina. And she said, oh, she kept calling herself white or something like that when you met
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. So when we were together, she took me to a movie, and and when we slept together, she put her arm next to mine, and she was like, you see, we're black and white, and I was like, well, we're black and yellow, really. And
Black and yellow.
yeah, I was because I've seen her as a yellow woman, but she's seen herself as a white woman or a lighter complected Asian woman. And I mean, I don't really pay that close attention to complexion. I'm more of size and shape is what I admire more on a woman. But um, I was explaining to her. She said, "No, no, and she told me an American man or a Western man, more to say. She said, Western men love white women, right? She said, and I'm whiter. I was like, well, if they love white women so much, why are they here? And she
Hmm.
didn't have an answer to that, because it's a lot of white guys there. It's a lot of white guys, particularly from Australia, there that are looking for Filipino women. So I'm like, well, they have white women in Australia. Like, why do you think they come here? So
Right.
I think that the perception of white beauty was really on the Filipinas, not not the men.
Exactly. I think all women, no matter what their nationality and race is, they all think that white is right,
Hmm.
in my opinion. But if you think about it, no one wants thin lips. No one wants thin, what do you call that type of hair? Oily hair. No one wants to have white skin, pale skin to where you can see every blemish, all of the bumps. Nobody want that.
Yeah,
But
I'm not particularly attracted to them as a whole. Like, I don't like some of them be having those blue spider web webs,
exactly.
or spider web veins under their skin. Like, it's because let's face it, you can see their blood a lot of the times, and that's not really a turn on to me. So yeah, it's not primarily my thing. I will give, like the darker ones, like the Italians and Spaniards and stuff like that, the Southern Europeans. I give them a
Mhm.
pass because they're a little darker and they have the lips that I like sometimes. And also like the super whites, they also get a pass as long as they're like um, lingerie. White women wear lingerie good. So, and by super whites, I mean like Nordic people or Slavic peoples. I get them.
Right. Blonde hair, blue eyes, green eyes,
Yeah, all that
white
good.
skin.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean. So those are the type of European women that you're attracted to.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Right.
They're above the rank and file white chick. The last one I seen that I found myself really attracted to um, was I was watching the series Cobra Kai,
Hmm.
and there was this young karate chick on there. Not the one, not Daniel-san's daughter. Those who've seen the series know what I'm talking about. Not Daniel-san's daughter, but the chick that was in Cobra Kai that was fighting Daniel-san's daughter. Yeah,
Oh, I
she.
never seen it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I never saw that. But let me get to the super chats. Hi, RBR. Thanks for coming. I knew you were going to come with this topic. He says the self-hate manifests itself in different ways. RBR. Absolutely. I do agree. Oh yeah, and another thing, GC, what do you think about Fresh and Fit? What they said about black women?
yeah. I think that they are. I think that black women are just losing by association, as far as people associate a behavior with their look. It's natural for
Hmm.
humans to do that. Like we. So in the Boy Scouts, I learned. This is one of the few things I remember from the Boy Scouts, besides the code of honor and things like that. Uh,
Hmm.
and stuff. But um, one of the things that stuck with me was there's a certain type of snake, and then there's a snake that looks like that snake, and
Hmm.
one is poisonous and the other one isn't. And the way to determine it is red meets yellow, kill a fellow. Red meets black, venom lack. So basically, it's two snakes, right?
Hmm.
And they all have red, yellow, and black stripes.
Hmm.
However, if the red is touching the black, if it goes red, black, yellow, then it's harmless. Well, not harmless. It's a snake, but you can't die from it. But if it
Hmm.
goes red, yellow, black, then it could kill you. So
Wow.
so yeah. So there are, and the thing is that they look very similar. Now, what's
Right.
happening is what happens as a result of that is people see red, black, and yellow stripes, and they like, fuck them snakes. I'm not going to deal with them. I'm
Exactly.
going to kill it if I see it. That's just the way it is. And
Right.
that's
Right.
happening to a lot of darker skinned black women. They are, associated with something that's poisonous, something that's bad, something that people would rather not let into their house or keep as a pet or something like that. That
Exactly.
there's a bad association with them that many have put on themselves, and many others are victims of that negative stereotype.
Right. And for him to say, we don't dibble and dabble in the dark, and he was saying a couple of things that could be offensive and could come off as colorism, but these women brought it on themselves. I hate to say,
Yeah,
this is. This is their fault. Nobody wants a Shaniqua, Shaquana, a Keisha. Like they said, nobody wants a woman like that.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if it was Fresh or Fit that said that they don't dibble and dabble in the dark, but I
Both of them.
okay, so I think that that's their way of attempting to seduce. That they're attempting to seduce non-black women. Um, for I don't think it's really effective in that regard. It works the other way slightly, but it doesn't really work that way, and that's because they're pretty much secure and their dominance of desirability.
Right.
Where black women, darker skinned black women, are not secure, and they want to hear that you don't mess with non-black women. They need to hear that so they know that there's less women to compete with. But white women don't care if you don't mess with black women or not.
They
They
don't
don't
care.
mind the competition because they feel that they'll win regardless. So
Right. But also, white women are not the least desired. So, of course, they don't care. They're like the most desired, them and Asians. So, of
yeah,
course, they're going
exactly.
to have their head up and, like, hey, all the men want us. Whereas with black women, I could understand where their insecurities come from. It comes from nobody wants them because when they see them, they run. They run the other way because
Yeah.
they're scared they're going to get a Keisha or Shaniqua. So, of course, they're going to run the other way. But it's not fair for people like my sister, who's dark skinned and beautiful, and she's very submissive. She's very, quiet. She hates confrontation. But when people see her, they don't know that about her. They just see another dark skinned woman.
Hmm.
And, I can feel her pain because I have, a lighter, like a caramel, lighter complexion. So when people see me, they automatically say, hey, she's soft, she's sweet, she's quiet, which I am. But people read that from miles away because they look at my complexion, they look at my hair, and they automatically see softness. But when they look at my sister, it's like, run.
Hmm.
So, and I don't think that have anything to do with, um, do you think that have anything to do with like featureism or, because of the harder, the more African features that you have, the scarier you are? I heard somebody say that in a chat
Well,
before.
once again, it's a earned reputation. Like the more black and red and yellow stripes that snake has, the scarier it looks because people remember getting bitten by by that snake and
Right.
deal with it. Like it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. It's scary because it is scary. So the only reason why there's a scary connotation with darker skin is because they've seen a dark skinned woman behave in a way that's very unfeminine and yeah.
Right. Exactly. Okay, let me read the super chat. RBR again with another super chat. He says, too many black women want only black men who want white women. Interesting. He says, the best man for a black woman is a black man who loves black women only. What's your takes on that?
So yeah, the reason why they want that particular man, and I actually definitely agree with that, RBR. The reason why they want that particular man is one, it makes them feel like a white woman. um it's like,
What?
okay, like this is a man that is attracted to white women, meaning that he sees my inner white girl. That's actually a real thing, unfortunately. And two, it gives them an opportunity to say I am better than white women because I proved him wrong. And three, those are the only men with standards, and women
Mhm.
are generally attracted to standards. Like these, I'll do anything type dudes. They don't realize how much harm they're doing to themselves because they're not stating any standards. Like a woman doesn't feel special for being with you.
Right, exactly. Um, I can't argue with that. That's facts. I couldn't put it any better myself.
Yeah.
But so what do you think the solutions would be for black women to start gaining, what's the word, self-confidence?
Well, the first step that black women, particularly darker skinned black women, the first step in that direction would be get me a sandwich. That would be the
Mm.
first thing that they can do to one, improve their reputation, and two, embrace and and feel feminine again.
But what about the ones that's already making that sandwich and the ones that's already submissive, but they're getting the
Encourage
bump?
others. They have to, basically, they have to shift the stereotype. So, and I think I told you this privately. So think of it like, all right. So back in the day, like the '70s or something, the Dunkin' Donuts franchise had a problem,
Hmm.
and that problem was that because they were open late, they were subject to stick up people. People just came in the middle of the night, pulled a gun, said give me your donut money, and just ran away. Wasn't much that they can do about that. No video cameras in abundance back then and stuff like that. So what they did was they implemented a policy to where police officers got free donuts as long as they ate those donuts in Dunkin' Donuts. So it was a deterrent for robbers because they knew that police frequented the Dunkin' Donuts now, and they just didn't want them type of problems.
Hmm.
So it worked like a charm for Duncan. However, it created another problem for the police force, and that was that people started associating police officers with donut eaters. That
Right.
association still lives on today. Now, the thing is that most modern people, especially your age, and maybe even my age, haven't actually seen a police officer eat a donut while in uniform and everything like that. So they've worked hard to change their reputation from, um, donut eaters to Negro beaters. They really worked hard to change their reputation. And it's taken a long time. Like that stigma is still there. Unfortunately, for Black American women, they can change their reputation one sandwich get me at a time. However, it will take a very, very long time and a whole lot of sandwiches, sex and submission.
You really think Black women can change that? Because I think it's too late.
Well, I think that they
Um,
should try. I don't think that they could change it for themselves, but enough sex, submission, and sandwich will change the paradigm. So, ladies,
right.
get started.
It has to be the younger generation to change it. The older women are done.
The
I
older
think
women
it's too
should be
late for
doing
them.
it for the younger women. You know, they should stay in their best behavior for the younger women so they can have a decent reputation.
Exactly. Yeah, but I'm starting to see more younger women getting those sandwiches.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see them in relationships and getting married. It's actually starting up now,
Hmm.
because my generation is done. The millennials, well, I'm not going to say the millennials are done. I think there may be a little bit of like just a little tiny bit of hope,
Well,
but
the boomers is ground zero for doneness or donicity. And then my generation, Generation X, followed by the yours, the millennials. So the further you move away from boomerness, which is ground zero, the less of the fallout, the less impact you have on how done you are.
right, agree. So yeah, it might take time. Maybe 20 more years. I don't know, but as long as it changed, because I'm tired of going online and seeing all these things about Black women and seeing fat Black women dancing everywhere. I think that's our biggest problem as Black women, our weight. That, well, that's number two. I guess that comes in second place. First place is attitude and wanting to fight all the time. That's first place. Second place is weight. It's way too many Lizzos out here dancing around in a shade room, dancing around online, talking about, hey, body positivity. I love being big. It's way too many of those. What's your take on that?
Well, the fat black trope has been around for since before my time and since before the boomers. That's some old Gone with the Wind, Hattie McDaniel's type stuff. That's just something that's really made to appease whites. This whole because okay, so here's where the mammy stereotype comes from. Because that's what was put in posters and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
mammy is really meant to be somebody that white women can feel comfortable with. If you're going to, have a woman who you feel comfortable with around your kids, cleaning your house, cooking your husband's meals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you don't want to have her look like Megan Good.
Right.
I mean, like try to sell a white suburban mom on some crap like that. Like, so they came up with the mammy, like, okay, my husband will never, I can, rest assured that if I leave her alone with my husband, everything will come back intact and there won't be any caramel colored babies coming out that one. So it,
Exactly.
it was really meant to um, make white women feel comfortable with the concept of black domestic workers.
Mm.
Now, you know, um, that reputation has seeped in to other areas. Like, so for example, take Florida Evans from a show, and this is way before your time, Billy, but those of us who are older or seen it in syndication know what I'm talking about. There was a show called Good Times. Florida Evans was the mother of that in that show. But that show is a spinoff of something. I forget what it's called. It's a spinoff of something where she played a maid.
Who
So
was who was her maid? Florida Evans?
yeah, Florida Evans played a maid on one show, and then they created what's called a spinoff, which is they take a character from one show and have that character star in their own show.
Mm.
So on this other show, she was the maid, and she just made guest appearances as the maid. Okay, so Maud, Kevin Murray said Maud was the name of the show. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. So
Mhm.
um, then Florida Evans, they was like, okay, let's make a show about the home life of this woman who was the maid. So what I'm saying is that mammy trope made its way from a show that's primarily for white people, Mod, into a show that is for black people, and that's Good Times, not the Jeffersons, Good Times, and and so on and so forth. And that's how that trope made it into the black diaspora, and that's the overweight black woman with no damn hair.
Facts. Facts. There's way too many of those running around now. But the
Yeah,
crazy thing is, it's funny how you said you couldn't leave them home alone with your husband because now in 2020, you leave them home alone with your husband, they might get pregnant messing around with your husband because black men have no standards nowadays. Like you always say, they'll sleep with anything. And this is why these big women have so much confidence. Like there's no reason why a big woman should be feeling like she's God gift to the earth. And like you said, in some cases, like let's say in high school with the kids, in some cases, they're the ones who run everything, the big women. It's not like how it is in other nationalities where the pretty girl is the one that runs everything. Now it's the big fat girl that runs everything. And you brought that to my attention. And when you brought that to my attention, I'm like, you know what? This is true on so many levels.
yeah. So I realized that. Well, I did a show on that recently, and it showed two slim women fighting, and they grabbed at each other's hair. That was the first thing, and that's a woman's fighting style: grab at the hair and with your left hand, and create a good hair grip, and then hit her with overhand rights. Like that's hey, no shade. I don't know if I was a woman what my fighting style would be. So and apparently it's effective and most effective against women with long hair. So yeah, it does seem as if the fat chicks are more battle ready. It is very difficult, especially for a woman, to master someone's weight. So it does seem like if you become entangled with a big chick, then you are at an extraordinary disadvantage because let's face it, women don't have the upper body strength to really handle that, nor do they have certain techniques that men have, like stick and move, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, or exhaust your overweight opponent. So, yeah, fat women do have a fighting advantage. Now, in black high schools, which is more violent than white ones, I'm assuming, it doesn't really matter who's the prettiest. who it's a cratocracy. Whoever is the strongest or the one that can beat the other one is the queen of the hallway or the quad or whatever they call it. Unfortunate but
Mhm.
true. But however, that women do belong in a healthy society at the bottom of the social ladder always.
Absolutely.
You know.
But we got Lizzo out here making all these big women think they're God's gift to the earth, and they're not losing weight like they should. They're not on diets. And even when I notice, even when I make comments under a post, I get attacked. Like if I say, "Oh wow, this is very unhealthy. She needs to eat right. She needs to exercise." It's like everyone's attacking me.
Mhm,
Women, slim women, big women, men, everyone's attacking me because I have an opinion on a big person.
mhm.
I mean, if you're like 500 pounds and you're dancing around, I'm going to say something because I'm concerned. Me as a black woman, I'm concerned about you as a black woman. And I think you should go on a diet before you, I don't want to say the word, but you know what I mean. But I don't understand why I get attacked for just trying to help other women out or holding women accountable for the things they're doing. Why am I getting attacked?
Because the Black American women have a trained society. They have trained the men of their society to accept their being fat and pretty much accept anything. That's They don't want our society to be like every other one where it's simply not tolerated, embraced, or accepted. So they don't want to allow people like you to speak on it. Pretty much, like you're messing up the Kool-Aid, you're messing up the punch bowl.
Right, exactly. So it's just weird to me how everything is reversed now. It's okay to be big and unhealthy. It's okay to want to fight everybody. It's okay to be the head of the household as a woman.
Well, what's going on is it's not actually reversed. Um, what's happening, and this is interesting, is that because they want it to be reversed, both the men and women want it to be reversed. But the thing is that they didn't really reverse the black man standards. And the ones that they have that type of control over, what they did was they took the standards completely away, meaning that yes, these guys are willing to bet a big one. However, they are also willing to bet a small and a median, and they pretty much willing to bet anything. So they didn't eliminate slim women as competition. What they did was they made everybody competition. So here's what I mean. Here, let me do a screen share so I could show you what I'm talking about. See, hungry, hungry hippos. So once you get a man to accept a hungry, hungry hippo, then it really doesn't matter like the color, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They just want some hungry, hungry hippos. Yeah, they
Right.
didn't reverse the man standards. They just took it away. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and just I don't know. It's ridiculous. 80% of our women are overweight.
Hmm.
80%. Like that's insane. I've heard when you go overseas, like to Brazil and what's the place everybody go to? Colombia and all that. The black women over there, they're slim. They have nice bodies.
Hmm.
But when you come over here to America, everybody's just so big and overweight. And it's just I don't know, it's disheartening to me and it's disheartening to a lot of other people. But what would your advice be to the big women out there?
Lose weight.
That's it. Lose weight. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, what better advice can you give? Like, if you're big, lose weight. Don't be big. There's really nothing worse for a woman than to be fat.
right. Fat, attitude, mean. That's our black women.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's I mean, the only thing that I can think that's worse is like you being mentally handicapped. But I think for a woman, life is better if you're deaf than if you're fat. So don't be fat.
Right. There's so many things. Because if you're fat, that means you're lazy. There's no other way to put it. That
There's
means
less
you're
than
not
that,
eating
yeah.
healthy, you're not walking, you're not exercising, and you don't really care about how a man feels. Because if you cared about how a man feels, you would be working out to keep in shape for him.
Yeah, it says a lot about a woman, and none of it is good. None of it's good for a man that values women. It's so yeah. That's my advice. Don't be it. Like it's not. Um, how can I say? It's not complicated. There's no math involved, and you know,
Right. And
yeah.
honestly, yeah, there is a difference between thick and fat, but not to Americans. I've seen women the size of Lizzo and men call them thick.
See,
So,
what thick is the inch. Thick is the inch that they take. Thick was supposed to be middle ground for women who are busty with booty. However, the fat hasn't reached the negative places, meaning that there are good places on a woman that fat should be and that you want it to be, and then there's other places. Now, if a woman has it in both the good and the bad places, men still call them thick when that's an inaccurate assessment of how she looks. She's just fat, and
mhm,
the breast and booty is proportionate to her being fat. So it's really not. And that's something that's commonly confused. And also, a lot of guys, have very low standards. A lot of black guys have very low standards. In addition to that, they simply don't have access to women who are not fat. So, what they do is they take fat women, call them thick, so they can escape certain ridicule that comes with being with a fat chick.
exactly. Because they have fetishes for these big women.
They
And I
don't
don't
have
even know,
fetishes for the big
right.
women.
I was
See,
going to say, I don't even know if they have fetishes. What I think it is that's all they have to choose from.
yeah, that's what I mean. So you call it thick. So, and I know you probably haven't seen the movie, but there in the original Matrix, there was a
Hmm.
scene there where they was eating slop. It was literally slop. And then they ate it, and from what they described, it tastes horrible. But it was they didn't have a choice but to eat it. And the guy was like, if you close your eyes, it kind of tastes like tasty wheat. So that's what they're doing. These guys are saying if you close your eyes, she kind of feels thick. No, she's fat.
Exactly. Fat is fat. There's no reason to sugarcoat it. It is what it is. But thank you, Non Swirl Zone. He says, real talk, real brother. Yeah, when I dropped the link, I believe RBR said he was gonna come up and give his opinion, and I will be dropping it in 10 minutes. So
Okay,
just give
cool,
me some
cool, cool.
time.
I can only say for like 10 minutes. But it says somebody said in the chat room, trust me, all women are fat, not just black women. No, all women aren't fat. Just fat women are fat. What are you talking about?
Wait,
Like
who
it
said
just
that?
means fat.
Oh,
Like what do you mean
Kim.
all women are fat? See, and this is something that people do. They say that that's like saying all men go to the NBA, because there's that one Asian guy there. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. If there's a dearth of black people in Harvard, don't say that all people are in Harvard. No, it's disproportionate. They are disproportionately big. And if all women are big, then be the first one to not be big. It is
Right.
your duty. It is your duty, Kim, to please my penis. And what I'm saying is that the overwhelming majority of them are insufficient in that task. So do better. Don't just
Yeah.
say everybody else is doing bad too. Do better.
No, it's definitely. I think that we're like one of the only groups that's 80% of our women are overweight. I
Well,
know
I was looking at the
European
survey.
women as well. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was looking at the chart, and apparently we're the only group here in the West, here in the U.S., where the women have a higher, overweight, obesity rate than the men. I think black men are like at 60%, where the women are at 80%. And also, the black man is smaller than the other groups of men percent wise, except Asian. And also, a lot of the guys fall into that category because they're muscle dudes.
Right. Wait, let me read this. More cool. Oh God, that name. Anyway, he or she says, y'all using a European BMI standard for Black people. Our body types are completely different from them.
That's what fat is. Fat is a completely different body type than people that aren't fat. What do you mean our body types are different? That's what fat means.
Exactly. That is fat. I mean, and GC always brings this up, Soul Train. And I have watched repeats of Soul Train from back in the day. Everybody was fit. Everybody seemed feminine. Everybody seemed nice. It's a big difference from then to now.
It
So
is.
they weren't fat. They
And
were
they
just
weren't
as small as
European.
Europeans.
Yeah, exactly. And they weren't European. Get out of here
Right.
with that crap. See,
Yeah.
that's
That's just an excuse.
exactly. They're constantly berating with excuses and reasons why, oh yes, it's the Europeans. It's always something. It's always something strange. No, sweetie, it's just it's the if you don't like stuff that's European, then stop eating hamburgers and Twinkies. Huh?
Right.
Stop eating corn syrup.
Right. It's your fault that you're overweight. It's nobody else's fault but yours. You can put all of that junk food down. You can get in the gym and work out. You can go take long walks in a park. There's so many things you can do. There shouldn't be any excuse to be overweight at all.
So I'm gonna say it's the processed food. It's no excuses. Exactly. So stop saying European this, European that. Europeans invented processed food, and y'all just ate more of it.
Right. There's no reason for that. RBR said, nah, there are thyroid issues and metabolism issues, and the weight loss industry is profit driven, not driven by helping Black women lose weight. Humans are taller and fatter. It's called evolution.
It's not evolution. It's a bad thing. Evolution has the connotation of improvement over time. Kind of like a human evolving from a non-Homo sapien humanoid. Like Australopithecus or something like that, or others. Let's just say others.
Right.
So yeah, it's a good thing when it improves something. However, there is no, how can I say, environmental factor that gives you an advantage for being fat. There isn't. Fat people
Mhm.
evolved. Humans evolved into fat people the way dinosaurs evolved into turkeys. They're not better now, are they?
Mhm.
Turkeys are
But
so stupid. If you leave them out in the rain, they'll look up in the sky, open their mouth, and drown. They're stupid like that. That's not evolution.
right. And Kim was right. She says women don't cook like they used to. We eat out more.
Yeah.
That's being lazy. That's the problem with a lot of modern Black women these days. We don't cook. We eat out. So you're right about that.
Hmm.
Okay, so here's my guest. GC, if you can just stay a few more minutes while we have RBR up here, because he's my other guest that I invited on.
Yeah.
Hi, RBR.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Thank you for
Thanks for
having
coming.
me.
And thanks for coming. I really appreciate that. I miss
Oh,
you.
oh, I miss you too. Well, thank you for having such a deep discussion. I know sometimes raising the bar of discussion here on Black YouTube is a very difficult thing, very iffy thing, very
Right,
chancy thing, but this is a needed discussion that we actually need to have. So I appreciate it. But
right.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
real
the
quick,
CDC.
I'm sorry, before
Oh,
you
go
start,
ahead.
no
Go
more
ahead.
people come up. That was just for RBR.
Yeah, the
Okay,
real
you
brother.
can go ahead. Yeah,
Let the
right.
real brother come up.
The real brother. There you go.
The fake brother
Okay, go
stay
ahead.
down there.
Okay, you can go ahead.
All right. So yeah, no, the CDC tracks obesity rates and so forth. So Americans are 65 to 85% overweight. I do believe that white people notice white people, black people notice black people, and the Asian people notice Asian people. You talked about the Filipino earlier. Yeah,
Mhm.
in their world, they're Lapita. In the Philippines, if a dark skinned Filipino is Lapita. So
Right.
we wouldn't think of Filipino was dark skinned, but Filipinos would. So in white world, a woman with a tan, you know, is a woman with a tan. She could be a 10. Whereas
Mhm.
a black person that's dark, and Rashida Stroba, she's gonna have a hard time finding a job, let alone a boyfriend. You know,
Yeah. And why do you
so
think that is? Because Rashida Strober is beautiful. I
yeah,
love
no,
her
she well
complexion. So why do you think she'll have a hard time finding a
a
job or a
job.
man? Yeah.
Well, because she's looking for the approval of somebody who hates her because she's black, who thinks whites are superior, who thinks white and light skin and European features are superior. The other thing that I see with both black men and black women, and that's why I said self hate manifests itself in different ways. If you're a black man and you can't be attracted to a black woman, that's no different than being a black woman and you can't be attracted to a black man who's attracted to black women. So the self-hate manifests itself in different ways. The problem with marrying somebody based on how they look, as opposed to whether or not as a man you love that person, or as a woman that person loves you, is
Hmm.
problematic. So in the case of dating and relationships, if you enter into a loveless relationship based on her having good hair, that relationship's going to fail. Not because there's something wrong with her good hair, it turned gray. No, there's something wrong with you. Because as a man, this brother in the chat room talking about the woman poked his eye out, punched him in the face, poured the hot grits on him, and all kind of bull crap. And who did you marry? The common denominator in all of your failed relationships is you. All right. So,
Hmm.
and not Lizzo. You only mess with her once, but you mess with 20 Lizzos, and the problem is Lizzo? No, the problem would be you.
Hmm.
Men have to marry and date women they love. So Kevin Samuels is teaching you how to get a woman. So you go out there and get Lizzo. Okay, that's a big mistake. Why? Because you're going to be unhappy married to Lizzo. So don't use what Kevin Samuels has taught you to get a woman that's going to be hitting you with hot grits and putting the key between her head fingers and punching angry man in the face. Come
Right.
on, brother. You mean to tell me you live to be 40 years old and you've never fallen in love with a sister? But you can't marry that sister. How come? She's too dark. Kerry Washington's too dark. So
So, so
she
you,
ain't Lizzo.
I'm sorry, do you honestly feel like these men don't want them because they're too dark, or it's because of their attitudes?
No, see that's the thing. How you marrying somebody from the Philippines that you never don't know what kind of attitude she got, but
Mm.
then you marry Kerry Washington talking about she had an attitude because your skin was dark. Please, no, you don't marry a woman with an attitude that's going to pour hot grits down your back. No,
Mm.
you marry the woman that you love. These brothers won't admit it, but they're falling in love with women that don't fit the stereotypical Brittany Renner stereotype. And
Right.
so instead of falling in love with somebody they actually love, they mess around and marry Aisha Curry or somebody that,
Mm. So,
they
GC,
wondering what, yeah, they're
I just
going to
want,
end up throwing her to the
I'm
TV or
sorry.
some shit. Go ahead.
Right. No, okay, so you had a different point of view. GC, what do you say about that?
Well, I think that there is an assumption. Yeah, men are always going to be primarily attracted to their own tribe, especially if they had a healthy relationship with their mother. So that's something that's always going to be there. However, there are limits to that, and that limit, the limitation is, about 50 pounds. So yeah, you know, we
Okay.
can only take so much fat and attitude, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, needless to say, and I think RBR can agree with that, black men do not turn down black women who do not fit the negative stereotypes of black women. We simply don't, especially based on the skin color. You know, Rashida Strober is both employed and married, or soon to be married again.
Hmm.
So we're
Part
not
time,
really
brother.
turning down women based on skin color or anything like that. We're turning them down on behavior and physical appearance or lack
Hmm.
thereof.
Okay. Well, and see, and what I'm saying is, and see, that's a belief that men have, and it's just not true. Why? When we talk about the physiological attraction of what attracts you, we're not really looking at the science. If your mate, right, had to be look like Jessica X or Miss Melody, how many people would there be on Earth? If your man had to be a six-figure nigga, right, and be perfect and be 6'3", come on, there would be nobody. There'd be five people on Earth, but there's
Mhm.
7.53 billion people on Earth. There's 1.3 billion black people in Africa, and none of them look like Miss Melody. How did that happen? Game changer, go.
Well, I think that of the 1.3 billion, there is some that look like Melody.
You sure?
So I don't.
Remember about three of them.
Well, no matter. I
Most of them
mean,
look like Lapita.
yeah, yeah. Well, no
She's
matter what.
beautiful, by the way. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Um, no. Well, anyway. So no matter what, yeah, people once again they like their own tribe. Nobody has a preference for fat chicks. We simply don't. You know. Why do you laugh?
Well, I laugh because I can imagine you in the club wondering where all the fat women are at. Me in the club, I'm looking for the Kelly Rollins and the chocolate slimmies, and you're looking for the fat bitches. Did you see any fat bitches? Are they all fat? I didn't
Y'all
Well,
know.
crazy.
I would actually
Was
be
Michi
happy.
was
Well,
Michi
well,
X in the club and shit? No, I don't know if Michi X was in there. I didn't. I wasn't
well,
looking for
well,
Michi X. I was looking for the chocolate slimmies.
yeah, no, no. I mean, I would look for the big women because sometimes there be
You know, waste
RBR,
3 hours of his club
RBR,
time looking for the fat bitches. No, no,
RBR.
I understand.
The reason why I say that is because every now and again you see a big girl and there's a smaller girl behind her. So basically, yeah, like in the shadows, there'd be about two or three smaller women behind the biggins, and those are the ones you go for because nobody else sees them. So yeah, like that's the only reason why I would do something like that, just to make that clear. But the
Okay.
point is, the point is that it says something. They know what we like, and they won't give it to me, and that in and of itself is unacceptable behavior.
Okay. Well, how many of these women, if we got 85% that are overweight, and you have 15% that are Kelly Rowlands and
Mhm.
Kerry Washington, how many Kelly Rowlands or Kerry Washington does each brother deserve?
Well, some black men are more deserving than others.
Okay, so
If
how
you're
many
okay, I think
men
this
though?
is what
How
you're.
many women would each man? How does it work? How does the distribution
No,
work?
no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There are more qualified, competent, and capable men out there that are deserving of slim black women than there are slim black women. For that reason, or excuse me, I should say slim black women in the U.S. For that
Okay.
reason, men have to seek other alternatives. The remainder, that is. And they can find these alternatives overseas. They could find them domestically in other ethnic groups. They can find them,
In
wherever.
Africa.
Yeah, they can find them in Africa. That's part of overseas RBR. But yeah, they can
Oh,
find them there as well.
so they
You
can
know,
find them right there in their backyard from overseas. Well, let
well,
me say this, and I have dated African women that were here and stuff like that. But let me say this. My point, I don't want people to do what people are naturally doing, which I feel that you are dismissing. And that is if you fall in love with a woman that doesn't fit the stereotype, would you go for the woman you love or for the stereotype?
No, if I fall in love with a woman that doesn't fit the stereotype, then I would go for the woman I love. What's wrong with what
Thank you.
you're saying?
Thank you. So that's my point. So I think that men aren't doing that. Why? Because obviously it hurts when the woman you love rejects you. It's not so much when Lizzo does. Okay. So I think that men are more apt to actually talk about the Lizzo than about the one that got away that you really, really loved. And I think that what best advice that dating coaches aren't giving is that there's a certain morality with getting with a woman that you don't love because that woman's willing to be in a relationship with you, or like in Rashida Strober's case, the part-time Drake looking El DeBarge looking brother who doesn't have as much bona fides in the black race because his skin is almost as light as Justin Bieber, goes out and gets with Rashida Strober. And come on, brother. Come on, Drake. You know damn good well he ain't attracted to Rashida Strober. But to get that cred,
I
that
think
street
that he
cred,
is. Well, I think that he is attracted to
instead of robbing a bank to get that street cred, he went
Yeah,
out
but
and
why
dated
don't you think
Rashida
they're
Strober.
attracted? Like me and you both said, dark skinned women are beautiful. I don't think it's about their looks.
Right, but you
It's,
don't. Christian Carol's beautiful, but come on, white boy. No,
it's the
you're not
attitude.
attracted. You're not. There's nothing attractive about self-hate. Nothing. So I'm not mad at Steph Curry for marrying the high yellow heifer, but no, brother, who's throwing the white girl through the TV and she lands on Gilligan's Island and shit. And they wonder what the fuck school is this? How the
what
hell
are you
you
talking
get
about?
the brother, the Stacy that was beating up the white girl? You
I
didn't see the
don't know what you're
video?
talking about.
Oh no, there was a video of an ex New York Jet player. His name was Max Stacy, and he was beating up the white girl and threw her through the TV, and she landed on Gilligan's Island and shit. They were like, "What the fuck was
What?
this?"
I don't know. That's just
That
weird.
You
sounds
gotta look
funny.
it up. It's a video. It's on YouTube. But my point is, yes, if you're marrying somebody for some stupid ass reason that your skin is light and you're trying to darken up your gene pool, or your skin is dark and you're trying to lighten up your screen pool and your gene pool, that's not love, and that's not a gonna relationship that can sustain itself. So those are superficial relationships, and we shouldn't look for superficial relationships. We should look for long-lasting, long-term monogamous relationships, and the men aren't doing it, and certainly the women aren't either.
Hmm.
Right.
And it's a sad thing because there are a lot of light-skinned, good hair having women that black men believe that if I could get her, I could probably get a white girl or a Persian girl or an Asian girl. And if you don't love that individual, that's where we see the problems. That's where we see the 80% divorce rate. 80%? Come on. What does that mean? It means men are marrying women that they don't love. It
I
means that
think that
men are marrying women that they don't want to make happy. And
I
that's
think
not
men are
good.
marrying women who have nice attitudes, who are nice,
No, see, so you're saying
who
80% of the people that are married, the woman had a bad attitude because he
what I
had six
said.
figures. Because the man had six figures, she wouldn't have married him. So where did her attitude go from Brittany Renner to bad attitude? She turned into Rashida Strobe? No, he didn't love her. He married a woman he didn't love, couldn't make her happy, even though Michael Jordan had more money than any other man she's ever dated. And she had to leave him because he wasn't making her happy. She had to cheat on him and have a baby that looks exactly like Reggie Theus when he played on the Bull. And so what are we doing? Marrying women that we don't love, marrying men for their money because they lying about being six-figure niggas. Come on, people, please. I'm here to help you. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
80% divorce rate. Over 80% divorce rate in interracial marriages within 4 years. Come on, you guys.
Well, do you think people like K Michelle are bleaching their skin to look like a light skinned woman because black men don't want dark skinned women? Is that what
Well,
you're saying?
I'm saying the sellout brothers don't want the real sisters. They want the part-time dipped in white girl dipped in chocolate, and they do, but they don't. Why? You want a woman that you love. Shit, give a damn what she look like. I don't give a damn about her hair. I don't give a damn about some attitude that we're supposed to be made up. We have a different culture, and that's what we don't want to admit. Black men going to get some Asian woman or some Puerto Rican woman. We have a different culture as black people. Our women have to fit into our culture. You don't want your wife to be white if you're black. You don't want your wife to be Asian if you're black,
Real
because it's a
quick, I'm
different
sorry,
color.
RBR. That link is just for Pablo. The link I just dropped, and that's it. I'm gonna have it a little longer. That's for Pablo. Okay, you can
Yeah.
go ahead. You can go ahead, RBR.
All right, yeah. No, she's gonna have a segment for the fake brothers, the part-time brothers, the brothers who are
Oh,
on call.
he just wanted to talk to
That'll be
you,
the
I
last
think.
segment.
So I
That'll
dropped
be
the
the
link for
last
him.
segment and shit. Okay, the real brothers for right now. We're gonna get Twin Man and Edward Anderson and Mr. Fantastic to come up in the
Hey,
final
Melody.
segment.
Thanks for having me. I gotta go. I'm
Lie
like
to us.
12 minutes
Thanks
late.
for coming, GC.
No worries.
Appreciate you.
All right, thank you, Game Changer, man. I appreciate it, man.
So Pablo,
You know,
what's
I
on
Hey,
your
think
mind?
how you doing?
brothers up here. Oh,
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So, if RBR's theory is true, that we all just want the wavy hair, light skinned girl, and we don't care
part-time sister.
if we love them or not, then the wavy hair, light skinned girls should all be married and have husbands. But from what I see,
Yes,
most of them are single baby mamas too.
yes. I never
So,
said
explain
that
that.
women. Well, like I said, women are marrying men for money.
Well,
Now, what did I
well, then
say?
the
I said
wavy
the
light skinned
self-hate.
hair girls
The
should
self-hate.
be winning.
No, you didn't hear what I said. Women are marrying for money. Men are marrying for light skin, long hair, Brittany Reiner, white girl dipped in chocolate. Here's the problem. If you don't love a woman, I don't give a damn how much money you have. You ain't gonna make her happy. So women marry for money. They divorce because you didn't make them happy. Now you ain't gonna make no woman that you don't love happy. Now she can make your male friends happy because she looks yellow and got good hair, but
So let me ask
you ain't gonna make
Let me tell you
her
this,
happy
RBR.
because you
The
don't love her. Yeah.
very worst reason to get married
Mhm.
is love.
That's the lie they tell. Yes.
It is the absolute worst reason for you
Yeah.
to marry someone. You know why?
Why?
Because love is an emotion.
Right.
It is a feeling.
And so is women not being
Let me
happy,
let me
being miserable
let me
as
tell
fuck.
and feelings
Miserable
and
as fuck is an
emotions
emotion too.
feelings and emotions come and go. You know, the most successful cultures in marriage are ones that do not use love as the barometer of who, how, and when they will marry. It is not
I
a
can
part
explain that.
of the deal.
Can we talk
And
about
they've
that
been
for a
able
second?
to be successful at it for thousands of years without
Yes.
major problems because they don't
Yes.
use love as the barometer.
Right.
So go
But they
ahead.
don't use money and they don't use light skin and good hair either. They use
India is very heavy.
compatibility.
Wait a minute. India
Nah,
is
no.
very heavy
Right.
on
And that's a perfect
colorism
example.
and
No.
classism.
Well, okay.
There's
All right. Now let's talk.
class stratification
No.
in India.
No. I'm giving you the
Very
argument.
heavy.
Now, can I tell you? Now, here's what I'm saying. In those arranged marriages, it's the parents, not Kevin Samuels, who puts the people together. So If I have a daughter,
Right.
no matter
And they
what
don't put an
her
engineer
skin
with
tone,
a bricklayer's wife. They don't. With a bricklayer's
no, but
daughter.
see,
They don't.
I know, but I know you're not being honest about the argument. If your kid is dark skinned and is a bricklayer, then you're gonna hook that person up with a parent whose kid is dark skinned and a bricklayer. You're not hooking that kid up with Meghan Markle and Kevin Samuels and Obsidian mom Leah Lee aren't hooking that kid up too. Two people who know their kids, who know what would make their kids happy, they're hooking them up. Not that somebody who's just trying to make money by getting clients fooled into thinking that they're going to show them love, or they're just going to show them all the kind of sex, how to get sex every day, a different girl every day. No. Right. So what I'm saying is, you might not call that love, but yes, they have the ability to make the woman happy and the man satisfied because the man loves his wife. They know that. See, Melody would probably mess up. Why? Because she'd go for the money and the 6 figures and all that old shit, and the 6'2" and all that bullshit. But Melanie's sister could hook her up, no problem. Melody could hook up her sister with a real brother who doesn't date white women, who doesn't date the light-skinned part-time sisters. She could hook her up, no problem. But she couldn't hook herself up. Yeah, no, because you know her. You know her.
Melody's
you know she doesn't have a bad attitude.
Could hook her up. Melody's parents.
Her parents could, but Melody could too, because she knows her sister just as well as her parents do. Do you, Melody? Do you know
my point, RTR, is that you're so heavy on this love thing, and I just wanted to point out,
not for the women, for the men, not for the women,
for anybody.
Hell no.
But listen,
no,
guess what?
The men.
Guess how this starts in traditional societies. In traditional societies, guess how this starts? The man looks and sees a woman and says, she looks like good marriage material. Let me go and approach her family about the possibility of me marrying her. He sees with his eye first, and then they have to get permission. So you're on this love thing so heavy, and I'm here to tell you, they become they grow in love as they go along, because yes, the families know who and what is right for their child. Yes, they grow in love, but they don't start in love, is my point.
I don't agree with that. I don't like that either. Okay, so let me say this. In the case you were talking about, does the women's family, the female's family, does she get to know the man's family, or does his family just get to know him? Does she look? They
have a period of courtship. Yes, they have a period of courtship where they begin to get to know each other and then each other's families. Yes, so it's a combination. Both sides have to approve. Both the bride's family, right, has to approve of said male, and then the male's family has to say, okay, that woman is an eligible candidate to be our son's wife. When they agree on that, then the courtship starts. So
yes, I think that'll work.
Okay,
I think that'll work. But I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I think that'll work.
But this love thing you're talking about, for marriage, is not it ain't a thing until later.
See, that's the thing.
I realize in your Western ideology, in your Western mindset, it's in the forefront of your head.
No, but I'm a real brother. It's an African mindset.
My point to you is that love is not a starting point in the most successful, most traditional cultures for marriage. It is not.
I think it is, but I think that what you're confusing is when you fall in love. So when you first meet somebody at the club, there's no way. If you claim you love LeBron James and you met him at the club, you're full of crap. You're lying. If you think you met Brittany Renner at the club and you're in love with her, you're lying.
Well,
You're
I
in
just
love
said,
with the
RBR,
person
that the
that you
love, the
got to
love.
know. You
I
got
just
to
said,
know,
RBR,
and you fell in love with her.
I just said, RBR, in those traditional cultures, the love comes later. The love comes
Yes,
after the
in
commitment.
non-traditional cultures, the love comes later. The only factor, right? The only factor in why these brothers are not happily married is that the women that they fell in love with, they didn't feel they had enough six-figure money. They weren't tall enough. They weren't light-skinned enough, and they didn't like enough white women and shit. So the woman killed them off, or they never approached the woman. So what the point that I'm making is, if you ask 12 women to your prom, you know damn good and well you don't love 12 women at one time. It's bull crap. But what you are doing is you are skipping over the woman you really want because you don't think you can motivate her. You don't have the ego. And that's what's happening. We put these light-skinned part-time sisters on a pedestal. We don't put women that we love on a pedestal because they don't fit the traditional white girl dipped in chocolate stereotype that all the people that say I'm talking nonsense are promoting. You don't marry a woman that you don't love and think you're going to fall in love with Lizzo later on. It ain't going to happen.
I don't see the IG model, light skin, curly hair girls winning any more than Lizzo. They all losing right now. So I just
right.
don't see it, RBR.
Now why are they losing? Well, hold on. Why are they losing? Ask Melody if a man loves her and he doesn't fit the 6'2" point guard for the Golden State Warriors stereotype. Will she accept the fact that this man loves her and Shaq is baby number 15 from Shaq? And she'll tell you, she will tell you that the average sister is going for baby number 12 from Evangeline.
I've never heard Melody
as opposed to the brother who loves her.
Yeah, that doesn't matter to me, RBR. I'm not one of those.
Okay. Now tell this brother that you would rather have a brother who loves you than the brother who got 12 babies by 15 other different women and doesn't love you, but he got six figures and he got the car and all that old nonsense.
I definitely won't want the second choice, the one that have all the baby mamas. I don't want that.
Now, Verbal's going to come up and say, well, that's struggle love. See, you want struggle love because he ain't got $100 million and 15 other different women. Come on, Verbal. That ain't struggle love.
Sometimes it's not all about love either.
RBR, it's a combination of things that when, especially in this particular culture, there's a combination of things. You're leaning heavily too much on this appearance thing, skin color and all that. I know you're selling it and you're doing a good job selling it.
Yes.
But the results, results don't bear it out. And
yes, they do.
What people want, what people want is the best deal they can get. That's
right, but they have to define it.
Wait a minute. That's a combination of attractiveness and suitability. It's not
that gets you in the door.
It's not a one or the other, though, RBR. If that was the case,
no, I'm saying that gets you in the door. Now, to get you in there, long-term monogamous relationship, you have to love her if you're the man, and he has to love you if you're the female. That's just the way it works. And there is not a woman on earth, Melody will tell you, that she wants to be happy. $1 million or happiness. Go, Melody.
Wait, which one would I rather? Why can't I have both? No.
Because it's impossible. Because he got 12 other women.
I know.
Okay.
Well, happiness is impossible because happiness comes and goes. Again, I said it's
no. Well, horniness, sex drive, horniness goes.
You be happy today and sad tomorrow, RBR.
Yes, but you don't be happy today and then break up your marriage tomorrow. If you love her, you stay with her. No,
whether
no,
you're
I didn't
unhappy
say
or
that.
happy.
I didn't say that. I said if you are
So
in love
you're
with
gonna leave
her,
your wife when you're not happy tomorrow.
no, you're gonna leave your wife when you get horny tomorrow. Well, you get horny every
No,
12 hours, so she
no.
can't be leaving
So
the
that's
wife every 12 hours.
again, that's a
No, but if
juvenile
you
way of
love
thinking.
her,
Well, I'm gonna
then
leave
you
because
won't cheat
I'm
on
not
her.
happy.
If you love her, you won't cheat on her. Now, if you don't, it's all day long. All right. And same with her. If you don't love her, she will most likely be cheating on you.
See, the problem with most Black Americans, RBR, in my estimation, is that
Mhm.
many of them have childlike minds.
Yeah, well, that's a stereotype. That's not true.
Happiness comes and goes.
Right.
Your
Well,
commitment,
no, not for
stays.
men. Not for men.
What?
Horniness comes and goes for men.
Most for men.
Happiness is a female thing. Men,
Your
get horny.
commitment,
All
your
right.
commitment is
Women
what
don't.
remains, RBR. Your commitment, not your happiness.
Right. Now that's what I'm talking about. If you are committed to that woman, you have much more of an opportunity to make her happy than if you just like her because she looks good on your arm. And when you go to the Manosphere meetup down in Atlanta with the other gay brothers, no, I'm just playing. So you can't marry some woman because she looks good on your arm. That's corny. All right.
And but you also want to be attracted to your wife. So,
well, if you love, what woman would you be in love with that you wouldn't be attracted to?
I don't know any, but that's my point.
That's my
is
point.
that it's not a one or the other, RBR. It's a
it is, because you're saying that homeboy was married to Holly Berry and he never saw anybody else that he would like to get with besides her. That's it. He's done for life. No, the next day after he married Holly Berry, he saw somebody that was prettier, finer that he wanted, but he didn't F off his marriage to get with that person. So what I'm saying is, what men are doing is men are falling in love with woman A and saying, well, she ain't all that anyway. Let me take woman B, who looks like Brittany Renner, when you know damn good well you don't love her. You're just going for the looks. And men are actually doing that if you have the money to do it. And I'm saying that's a curse, to have enough money to get a bunch of women that you don't want. That's stupid. And you'll go broke. So I think it's better for me to give the advice to men that you have to go with your feelings, your emotion. Yes, love is an emotion. So is miserable as fuck. That would be an emotion too.
Okay, RBR. I'm going to go with your premise. I'm going to go with your premise, RBR. Men should go with their emotions. Okay, fine. I met this woman. I'm in love. Maybe she doesn't look like Halle Berry. Maybe she looks like Gabrielle Sidibe.
There you go.
I'm in love. I'm going to marry her.
That is. Yeah.
Now I'm in the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I'm 7 years in. You ever heard the 7-year itch?
Yes. It's a myth.
I'm 7 years in, and all of a sudden, these emotions that I had are waning. Now she snores she snores loudly at night. She don't put the toilet roll on the rack right, on the toilet paper holder right, on the way I like it. She puts it on the bottom instead of from the top. She don't put the cap on the toothpaste, whatever. Now it's everyday life, and I'm no longer feeling the warmsies, the tingly feelings, whatever. It's just a person now. Should I now say, I'm not in love anymore, so I'm leaving. I'm gonna.
I don't think you would say that. And see, I think that's the fear. And why would that fear come? Because you looked at that tingly feeling, which was really lust. It wasn't love. And you thought, since I'm not in lust anymore. No, lust is the first stage. Love is the second stage. And then all the stages where it's not love or lust, that's the bliss stage. And that's where you want to be, to the point where she can gain a little weight and you still love her. To the point where her hair can turn gray and you love her. See, we don't, if you have been in love with a woman, right? You talked about the mother. Was that you or was that Game Changer? But anyway,
What
he
do you mean?
said, I talk about my mother. Well, there are a lot more qualities that your mother has that are beyond what she looks like. And
Sure.
that's what you want in your wife. You want to love her for more than just her hair, which I think is stupid, or just how light her skin is, which I think is stupid, or how big her butt is, or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying, love, it's a feeling, it's an emotion. And we can lie about that feeling and emotion if it doesn't fit the Kevin Samuels stereotype. But I'm saying that you don't marry a stereotype. You marry a person. You don't marry 80% of black women or 20% of black women. You marry one black woman that you can have one of the most important events in my life was my buddy Kenny Wilner. We used to go up to the UW when we were in high school with peachy folders and act like we were college students and try to pick up the girls practicing before we get to the major leagues. And one day I said, man, Kenny, man, let's go up there and go up on Broadway and go hunting. He said, oh, no. I said, what do you mean, oh, no? My girlfriend, this is an exclusive relationship. They were in high school. I said, what are you talking about? Oh, no, this is exclusive. I don't do that no more. I don't mess with anybody else but her. I said, Kenny, stop playing, man. Come on, man. Let's go up to the UW. No. I said, damn. No, he found a woman that he wasn't even, you know how many beautiful, super bad sisters from California was up at the University of Washington, and he did not want to go. I said, man, let me see this girl. Who the fuck? What the hell? But anyway, that's my point. He found somebody that he didn't want to cheat on.
Yeah,
and
but
you can
part
too.
of that RBR, a part of that RBR, that is a decision. That's not just his emotions. That's a decision that he made to be honorable and to keep a commitment that he made.
So you don't think he loved her?
No, he did. Maybe he did love her, but he also kept his commitment, whether he did or didn't. He kept the commitment that he gave, and that's what's missing in the black community right now. A lot of people, they're so selfish and self-interested that they do not keep their commitments. That is the problem. Not whether they light skinned or dark or black or fat or any of it. They won't keep their commitments.
But you can't keep a commitment to a woman you don't want to be with.
No, well, guess what? If you didn't want to be with her, you shouldn't have started making long-term situations with them like babies. So that is Pablo's breakdown of the community, is that a lot of you are selfish and so self-interested that you don't want to keep your commitments.
Well, I agree with that. I'm just adding, don't make a commitment to Lizzo because you don't want to be with Lizzo. So I'm saying don't turn down love because they don't fit the stereotype or they don't fit the image that somebody else told you. Don't let another man's penis dictate your actions. If you love her, tell the other brothers to step off and stop telling you, oh, man, she ain't all that, man. Her skin's too dark. Look at her hair, man. Man, shut up.
Honest.
You know what I'm saying?
But if she's overweight, though.
No. If he loves her, if she's a man in a dress, if he loves her, who are we to say, come on, man, you know that's a man, don't you? No, if you love her, then go for it. If he loves you, go. If Dr. Dre, I knew the girl Dr. Dre was messing with before he got with his wife. And the girl he was messing with, Tammy, was 150,000 times finer than the girl he married. But Tammy didn't have no business savvy or connections or nothing like that. He would have never had a company that sold to Apple Computers for $3 billion had he married Tammy. But Tammy was super duper bad. Now, did he choose love or did he choose the connections of the white girl that knew off Jimmy Iovine and could hook him up with the $1 billion company? He went for the money. And I've known other women, athletes, and I sat there and ear hustled while they said, "Oh, them other bitches can't get you. I can get you. I can get you an agent. I can get you this. I can get you endorsements. See, that girl might be pretty, but she can't do for you what I could do for you."
And that's why I
And,
say RBR, marriage is about a lot more than just love and your emotions.
right,
It,
but
it
you see what
is
happened
about
to the
those other
marriage.
things.
But you see what happened to Dre's marriage.
Well, I'm not making a value judgment. I'm just saying
Okay.
that's a part of the deal.
Okay. Well, I mean, well, what do you recommend? Do you recommend the business relationship, or do
I
you recommend a long-term marriage?
I for one, I believe that marriage as it is currently constituted in the West, in this
Mhm.
country, is broken. That it is a failed system. And that we are so far away from traditional values that, you know, what we currently have uh, isn't working for anybody, for blacks or whites. If you look at the whites divorce rate, that's just high, more than 50% too.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just kind of feel like we need a
The
wholesale
Jewish
cultural,
population is about to go extinct. We're about to lose our Jewish population.
yeah.
They are not getting married. They will not marry you unless you direct in the Steven Spielberg movie and shit. So you have to have multiple millions for a
Right.
Jewish woman to marry a Jewish man. And that's sad, man. Don't go extinct. Don't let your population go extinct because he ain't got no six figures and all that bullshit. Come on, you guys. This is about real life. This is about the continued existence of the black race. You don't want to breed your black race out of existence like they're doing in Brazil, like they've done in Mexico, Australia,
Oh,
Canada.
I've been to Brazil. I can assure you, black people are not extinct.
Yeah, they're just hiding. They're
Yeah.
just hidden away so nobody
Yeah.
can
No,
see
they're not hidden. No,
Mostly black people in Brazil.
80% of the
I
80% of 80 million Africans, largest population outside of Africa. They all look like Bruno Mars and shit.
no, they don't. No,
Yeah,
they
please
don't.
don't use certain
I ran
words,
into my
guys.
own twin down there,
They look
and
like
everybody
Jennifer
else from the
Lopez and
U.S. got a
shit.
twin down there too. Stop.
Well, they killing them. They got a Trump-like president who's killing them with the coronavirus, shooting them in the back, locking them up. Same shit they doing here. We cannot be breeding ourselves out of existence because there are other races that don't like us. We have to. I think we should be darkening our gene pool, not lightening
Really?
it.
Mel, thank you
Yes.
for having me up. I got to go. RBR, it's been great, and
Okay, I appreciate you,
know,
Pablo.
I agree with you on some points, and then some
Thanks
others
for
I don't. We actually had a very civil conversation. RBR, you're not as bad as they say.
No, well, nobody is. They just lying. That's all.
yeah, I mean, Game Changer's back though.
Yeah, just right quick. RBR, you gotta watch certain words, bro. You
Oh,
can't
I'm
be
sorry.
you can't be dropping J bombs. You can't be talking about the beer flu.
Oh, okay.
Without
All right.
you can't say certain words and easy on the swears, bro.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right.
Why did Pablo leave?
Oh, I'm not sure.
No, he said he had to jump. He had to
Oh,
Yeah.
jump.
okay. Yeah, I
I'm
did too.
about to shut down myself though. I appreciate you for coming, RBR. I really
Oh,
do.
I
It was a
appreciate you
great,
for having me.
yeah, it was a great conversation. I knew you were gonna add some good stuff to this conversation.
Well, I think we should. It was good. We didn't get to the morality of the dating coaches who don't teach morality. They just teach pump and dump and all that other nonsense. But maybe for next time we can talk about that.
I mean, if you
I
want to talk
appreciate
about
it.
that real quick, I
Okay,
mean,
well,
you
real
can.
quick, if you teach kids, if you teach people how to mate and date and conquer women, then you have to teach morality. And what I mean by that is, so yes, you know how to obtain women and say the right words and stuff. And then you get a woman that you don't want to be with, that you just want to pump and dump or have sex with. And now this creates a bitterness among black women towards black men because that's the problem. A lot of light skinned great curly haired women have been trashed by men who didn't really feel capable of having long-term monogamous relationships with this women because there were so many other men who had more money. All right. So that was the problem. So I'm saying, and the same thing is true with the Kelly Rowlands of the world, that there are men who, because of their skin is a little darker, don't take them seriously. And now they're bitter and suspicious of men who claim to really want to be in a relationship with them or want to date them. And so now they're bitter and angry. So you don't want to bring your failed relationships into the next relationship, because obviously if you plan to fail, then you're going to fail. So we have to teach morality. That feeling, no man, I've never met a man in my life who didn't know when he was in love. And if you don't have that feeling, do not pursue it. If you just want to have sex and all that stuff, you can make that plain. But you do not have to fool these women and impregnate these women and then leave these women. They're going to be bitter and they're going to take it out on the next guy.
Mhm.
And it's wrong. Please stop doing it. All right. All right. You can continue. Game Changer, is Game Changer still there?
Oh no, Game Changer had to
Oh,
go, but both of
okay.
you guys added a lot of great points to this conversation. I appreciate you coming.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye now.
Okay, bye. Hey guys, good night, everybody. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for movie night. Um, Game Changer will be dropping the link. I'm not sure if he's having a show before movie night or not, but usually he has a show and he drops the link. And then we talk about red pill things, about the movie. It's fun. It's a good time. So make sure you guys come through. And thanks again for coming. Peace.